Ethan lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to push away the thoughts of the accident. His parents had rushed to the hospital hours ago, leaving him alone in the house. They had told him to be brave, but the echoing silence of the empty rooms felt oppressive. The old house creaked and groaned as it always did, but tonight the sound seemed different. He pulled the covers tighter around him, willing himself to sleep. The clock on his nightstand read 2:13 a.m. when he first heard it, a faint scratching from the attic. He froze, listening intently. Maybe it was just his imagination, a trick of the mind in the silence of the night. Minutes ticked by, the sound persisted, growing louder, more insistent. Ethan squeezed his eyes shut, hoping it would stop. It didn't. Curiosity mingled with fear, and he knew he wouldn't be able to sleep until he checked it out. Taking a deep breath, he slipped out of bed and grabbed the flashlight from his desk. The attic door was just at the end of the hallway, a dark wooden panel in the ceiling with a pull-down ladder. He reached up and yanked the cord. The ladder creaked as it unfolded, and a waft of cold, musty air rushed down. He hesitated at the bottom, flashlight trembling in his hand. "It's nothing," he whispered to himself. "Just an old house making noises." Climbing the ladder, he winced at every creak and groan, the sound of his own heartbeat thundering in his ears. The attic was dusty and filled with old boxes and forgotten memories. He swept the flashlight beam around, revealing cobwebs and ancient trunks. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. He let out a shaky breath, feeling foolish for letting his imagination run wild. After a thorough look around, he descended the ladder, reassured by the normalcy. Back in his room, Ethan settled into bed, the sense of unease slowly dissipating. The house was quiet again, and his eyelids grew heavy. Just as he was about to drift off, the scratching noise returned, this time from within his room. His eyes snapped open, heart pounding. The noise was unmistakable, emanating from the far corner near the closet. He clutched the blanket to his chest, listening in horror as the sound grew louder, inching closer. The scratching became a dragging noise, as if something or someone was crawling across the floor towards him. Terror paralyzed him as the noise reached the foot of his bed. He dared not look down, the sound now originating directly beneath him. Holding his breath, he rolled into a ball and pulled the blanket over his head, the thin fabric his only shield against whatever lurked below. Seconds felt like hours as he lay there, trembling. Then he felt it, a light touch on his blanket, as if something was brushing against it from underneath. He squeezed his eyes shut, silent prayers tumbling through his mind, and eventually, exhaustion claimed him. The dawn broke, and Ethan awoke to the sound of his parents returning home. The terror of the night before seemed distant, like a bad dream, but his parents' somber faces quickly shattered any sense of relief. His mother's eyes were red from crying. "Ethan," she began, her voice breaking, "your cousin didn't make it. He died in the accident last night." Numb with grief, Ethan retreated to his room, the words echoing in his mind. He sat on his bed, trying to process the loss, when something caught his eye. There on his pillow lay a simple, worn friendship band. He picked it up, recognizing it immediately. It was the one his cousin had made for him when they were younger, a symbol of their bond. Tears welled up in his eyes as he clutched the band. He knew he hadn't seen it in years, and certainly hadn't placed it there. A chill ran down his spine, and he couldn't shake the feeling that his cousin had been with him last night, saying a final goodbye.
Please like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you.